Hello everyone and welcome back into one very interesting video, and today we got this little fella, which is the controller that I usually use only to go through the menus, and I'm not really using it when I'm racing. And I also got the setup of mine, which is roughly worth about 3,000 euros. And also guys, I really wanted to give you an idea on what exactly am I using as my primary setup and what I'm usually using to race. So this is the Formula V2.5, which is roughly about 400 euros. And then we have the QR2 system installed, which makes the whole quick release system a lot easier. It even looks a lot better. This is another 200, but I got this one on the Black Friday sale. It was just about 100. And on top of that, I got this button pedal module, which is just about 150. But this is my wheel. And on top of that, I'm using a Club Sport DD Plus with my FANATEC Club Sport V3 pedals. So now we're comparing my full setup versus this thing, which is just about 50 US dollars or euros. Once again, it depends. But I really wanted to see what is the actual difference, because to be honest, on this thing I'm pretty average. I am trying to use all of the things that I learned so far, but to apply it, that's a completely different thing. And of course, if you go to the options, then you'll be able to see which kind of setup you want to use. So here you can use the sticks, which is just about this thing. We can use directional buttons, but I'm not exactly sure why you want to use these buttons. And on top of that, we can use the motion sensor function, which is actually something that I've been using in the past before I even bought my first wheel. So this was like 5 years ago, and then I decided to buy a Logitech G29. So basically using motion versus the stick. I'm not exactly sure which one is best, but I know that I was actually pretty good on the motion, and only then I decided to buy my Logitech G29. So I will go with the left stick first, and to see what is the actual difference when I'm going around Red Bull Ring. But before we move on, I just want to show you this. So these are the rankings boards, and we go to the global rankings, and you can see that I'm P7. And I've done this lap on my wheel. So I've done a 27.993 on the wheel, and you can see it's in the top 10 in the world. So this is a very, very good lap. And let's just hope that this is gonna go well. So at this point, you can see that I'm using the left stick to control everything, and straight from the start, I can see that this is not exactly gonna be easy. I'm trying to control this, but I'm trying to also not screw it up completely. And as you can see, that was my previous Ghost, and it just flies away into the distance. But okay, let's try to catch it up. The only problem that I have right now is changing the gears, which sometimes in tight turns can be quite difficult for me. So downshifting into second and applying the power. I'm trying to easily apply the power. You can see that my Ghost was like flying all around the place, which definitely isn't something that you want to do. But okay, I'm really trying to hit my braking points and just try to use the same style, even though changing gears and accelerating, as you probably can tell, can be quite difficult. Like third to fourth gear, I'm trying to follow, using the most track as I possibly can. But now we come into a problem. This is called trail braking. I really don't have a feel on how much I should be applying. You can see that I'm either applying 50, 60 or 100%. There is nothing in the middle. There is no like those 20, 30% that I'm usually talking about. So there are like no fine movements. I know some people can do it, but I just don't have the skill on the controller to do it. But okay, let's see. Let's use the right gears. Okay, we're not sliding, so that's good. That is actually good. So I use the right lines, I use the correct braking points, and it's a 130.5. Let's try to see if I can improve. Okay, I'm turning in way too soon. But let's see if this is going to be a penalty. I hope it is not. And we're actually 2/10 faster now. My Ghost is still faster, but never mind. Let's use a braking point. Now I'll downshift into first, use a bit of this curb, and apply the power. Oh, okay. But the thing about controller is then, when I start losing the car, it's actually easy to recover it. So you can really recover the car even though it's sliding all around the place. Okay. Maybe this wasn't like a good idea to brake that late, and we are in the gravel. So let's go again. I mean, I need to really find the right feel of the car and just the acceleration. And let's see now. Whoa. Testing track limits, I guess. Please tell me that it's not a penalty. It's actually better than before. Let's use the braking point as usual. Stopping the car too much, but... Okay, I stopped the car way too much, but let's keep it up. Okay, using the full width of the track there, which is usually a good idea. Again here, let's try to brake. Understeer like crazy. But let's use fourth gear on the way out. Brake. Upshift into fourth. Apply the power. Use all of that curb. And I'm actually in front, okay. Oh. Right gears, just using the right gears, stopping. Fourth. Let's not slide, use the full width of the track and... Actually, there we go. So this is a 29.5. So this is a 29.5. Well, I just wanted to give you like a quick idea of what exactly is going on and which place this is going to be in the world. And I've been using this controller for just about 45 minutes now. And before this, I haven't used it in just about 3 years. So, rankings. Let's go to global leaderboards. Let's check where is that 29. Oh, this is gonna... Oof, this is tough. This is tough, guys. This is gonna be maybe 1,000th in the world, I believe. Okay. So, with the controller, I was actually able to get just about a 2,000th in the world. And I think for this track, we actually had like 15,000 entries. So there was around 15,000 entries, and I was able to do a 29.5. It's not even close to a 27.9, but just to give you an idea of what can I achieve, and you probably saw it like a couple of minutes with the controller with a little bit of practice before it. And now let's go side by side. On the left, as you probably can see, is my 27.9 with the wheel, and on the right I am doing a 29.5 with the controller. And you can clearly see the difference. I'm going much wider in turn 1, and the controller does not really give me the possibility of trail braking, so I don't have the confidence that I can actually go that wide into a corner. And especially you can see the difference here. You can see how much more speed am I carrying into this second turn, and on the way out you can see gradually applying the power and getting a much faster exit with the wheel. And of course I have a better feel with the wheel because I've been using it for a very long time now, but with the controller I was actually having a hard time, especially in the technical sections. High speed turns were not that difficult, but as we're trail braking, I cannot even trailer brake with the controller. I really tried to push it to the limit and eventually carry that speed, but for me it was really difficult to get up to 20-30% of braking pressure. I just couldn't do it with the controller. It's, as I said before, it's a very different type of skill, and as you can see here, the car is sliding and it's going much wider with the controller because I wasn't able to transfer all of that weight, and I wasn't able to carry that momentum and speed into these couple of corners. And you can see the difference in here. So I can trail brake with the wheel, but with the controller I just don't have the feel. And unfortunately I was really slow in this corner, and you can really see the difference now. So it was much slower, especially in this corner, but now as we're getting into the last couple of turns, you can see the difference. So I'm actually using the curb, I'm using the full width of the track, I'm using exactly the same braking points, but I'm just not able to carry the same amount of speed. I didn't lose that much in the last section, but the overall lap was just about 1.5 seconds slower. Well, a lot of hours, a lot of time, a lot of work to get a 27.9, and I think my average was just about a 28.3, 28.2. This was something that I was fairly happy with when I was doing this time trial. And on this thing, I can achieve a 29, or possibly with the same amount of practice I would probably get into the 28s. But the point of the story would be, if you ask me, you simply need to rely on using the right things that I usually explain in my videos, like using the right braking points, using the right gears, using the right racing lines, and of course trail braking, which I thought it was going to be easier with the controller, but it's not. And on top of this, I need to add that I didn't use the controller competitively in just about 5 years. So what you see here, well, definitely needs some improvement, and I would definitely need to work on this thing a little bit more, and definitely need to spend more time with the controller. But I was able to get into the top 2000 between like 15 to 16,000 people that actually played this. So in my opinion, if I can reach something like this, and I'm not a controller guy, I know some people that are much better than me on the controller, but there are maybe a couple of guys in the world that can actually do this. So I do highly recommend getting a wheel, because it's in the end a much better experience. The feeling is, I don't even know how to explain it. You got the force feedback on this thing, you have absolutely nothing. So I would say that you can get your golds, you can get those license tests up to gold, you can get to a gold in the time trial, but do not expect to be fighting for the top 200, top 500 on the leaderboards, because it's just different. Or if you're really good on this thing, then well done. You are actually pretty good on the controller, and if you change it to the wheel, you're just gonna be a little bit better. So guys, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed in this video. And all of the things that I was talking about, the racing lines, the braking points, the turning points, and the upshifts, downshifts, all of that is covered in one of my videos, which is once again gonna be in one of these corners. So once again guys, thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, bye.